One of the questions we ask ourselves when determining what story will lead our evening newscast is, how many people does it affect?
We're devoting our entire first segment this evening to something that we are all dealing with: the skyrocketing cost of living, or inflation. Yesterday, we learned that the prices we consumers paid for goods and services in April were up 8.3% from last April.
And today it was announced that the wholesale prices that businesses paid for those goods were up by 11% from a year ago. That means businesses are being squeezed between paying more for putting items on the shelves and consumers who are angry over how much they're paying at the checkout counter. Needless to say, inflation is making all of us rethink how and where we spend our money.
News Center Maine's Chloe Thibault takes us through a day in the life of inflation in Maine.
Getting gas is something most of us do at least once a week. With prices at record highs, the consumer's challenge is the expense. But for small business owners, it's keeping product on the shelves without ripping off customers who feel like neighbors.
I've been in this business 30 years, and this is the worst I've ever seen it, I think.
Really, the worst.
I mean, with every invoice is, up.
Laura Ladke has been working at Broadway One Stop in South Portland for decades. But these days, she says her job feels more like day trading.
You have to find that balance, basically. You know, what's going to be fair to the customer, what you're going to be able to make your profit, and, not undercharge or overcharge.
Yeah.
I'd say cigarettes and beer are the worst, aside from the gas.
So lighting up a pack isn't cheap. But what about fueling up your tank?
According to AAA, the average cost of a gallon of gas in Maine right now is about $4.42. That means filling up a 15-gallon tank costs more than $66 today, compared to fewer than $44 a year ago. Next stop, we're fueling up on caffeine.
Hi there, can I just get a hot cup of coffee, please?
Sure, what size would you like?
Small.
Alrighty. And did you need any room left in there for cream?
Little for cream.
Great. It's going to come out to $2.97.
If you think that's more expensive than usual,
everything's gone up. Yes, it certainly has.
you're not wrong. Co-founder of Coffee by Design, Mary Ellen Lindemann, says that cost could soon go up even 20 cents more because of everything that goes into one cup of coffee.
People talk about what's going on in Ukraine. How does that impact us? Well, grains, fuel, all of that impacts us. It's everything from pandemic and supply issues. So what does it take to get what we need, and how is it made? The building you're in. Electricity is skyrocketing. So really making sure we're educating everybody, and we are doing the best we can as a small business and as owners every day, looking at our numbers, looking at where we can do a better job.
A full-time job keeping these customers satisfied.
I'm here with Toby Tarpinian. He's the owner of Morning Glory Natural Foods in Brunswick. Toby, you guys are a pretty small, family-owned store. Tell me what you guys have been experiencing with inflation.
We definitely see a 6 to 8% inflation increase almost weekly with each order. That combined with fuel pricing and delivery increased fees. We received this chicken this morning, and each product in their line went up about 7% today.
Meat isn't the only item getting more expensive.
What would this have cost?
I would say oats is the best example.
Okay.
Pretty much for the last several years, for a thing of organic oats, by the pound. Like the Maine oats, we've charged $1.29, $1.39, and now they're anywhere between like $2 and $3.
The cost of labor also has a hand in these climbing price tags.
What we would start an inexperienced hourly employee 3 years ago is dramatically different than what we would today. And that's just to keep the store staffed.
It's that time of year when a lot of us are starting to get outside and think about what our yards look like, whether that's with landscaping or growing a garden. And the cost of these kind of goods is going up as well. I'm here at Skillin's Greenhouses in Brunswick, and we're going to talk to a few experts about what they've been seeing.
This one is called Rocket.
Greenhouse worker Cindy Osgood says she and her teammates are as busy as ever this year.
We're finding people buying a lot more vegetables, wanting to do their own gardening. And I think You know, part of that is because the cost of groceries has become very expensive.
And with that increased interest,
With deliveries for these bulk products, how
Yep.
long is it taking right now typically?
Yeah, so right now our calendar is filling up, so we're out about 3 weeks or so, 2.5 to 3 weeks. And that's, you know, going every day pretty strong. And people are patient, they're happy that we're going to be able to provide it, just not as quickly maybe as they'd want.
And what's like the reason for that, I guess?
Yeah, it's just the demand is greater than we've ever experienced.
in some cases, when an item is available,
I was told, and I think it's pretty much be happy that we have it, but the price for a 50-pound bag of grass seed for us is $219.
Oh my, how much would that have cost in like a
Normally
regular
you'd be looking
year?
at about $1, about $150 probably.
Wow. So the practical questions we all have, how long will this last and who's feeling its impact the most? I spoke to some experts who work on the macro level to try to get some answers.
I think we saw at the beginning of the pandemic, there was a lot of stimulus out in the economy and people were saving a lot more. And the most recent data has shown that there is still a lot of savings in the economy, but especially lower income households are now getting back to that paycheck to paycheck status.
a status that can be hard to keep up when an end to this record inflation isn't clear.
There's some things we just kind of have to wait and see, but I think maybe there's some light at the end of the tunnel. We should be at peak right about now, and we, maybe in a year or so we could normalize.
In the tunnel with all of you looking for that light, Chloe Thibault, News Center, Maine.
Now, some Americans are doing whatever they can to spend less. A survey by CNBC indicates people are saving money by cutting back on eating out. They're driving less, taking fewer vacations, and canceling monthly subscriptions like Netflix or cable TV.